Hi, my name is Maggie. I'm a therapist at Solid Foundations, and I'm here to talk about a skill that I teach with a lot of my clients. So, a lot of my clients, especially ones who are relatively new in their therapy journey, struggle with being able to just sit with their feelings. And sitting with your feelings looks a lot different for a lot of people. It can feel really big, it can feel really scary, and it can feel really uncomfortable, which is why we usually just want to avoid those emotions, move on, push forward, keep going. But that's not always the best for us because whatever we resist is going to persist. So those feelings are eventually going to come back, and we need to be able to tackle them in appropriate ways. So I start with teaching my clients about mindfulness. And mindfulness is allowing yourself to be in the present moment without any kind of judgment, without any kind of qualifier as to what's happening or why it's happening or anything like that. We're not saying that this is good. We're not saying that this is bad. We're not saying that there's a problem with us because I'm having this feeling. We're just going to have the feeling very non judgmentally. And then I teach my clients about the RAIN technique. And RAIN is an acronym. So the R in the word RAIN stands for recognize. I first need to recognize whatever emotion is coming up for me in this moment. If I feel sadness, if I feel anxiety, if I feel anger, or if I feel happiness, I need to recognize what I'm feeling it and I need to label it as a feeling. Not labeling as good or bad, but just label it. And then the A in the word RAIN stands for allow. I need to allow those feelings to exist whatever way it needs to exist. So if that means that I'm sad and my body wants to cry, I'm going to allow myself to cry. And as we allow those emotions to exist, we don't want to put any kind of positive or negative qualifier on that. And then the I in the word RAIN stands for investigate. I want to investigate where this emotion might be coming up for me. Now, sometimes it's pretty obvious where that emotion is coming from, and sometimes it's not so obvious. So we maybe need to reflect on our past. We maybe need to reflect on the values that we have for ourselves. We need to be very open minded to just get curious about the why. Investigate what's happening for me, why is it happening? And the most important part of the investigation part is what is it trying to tell me? So if I'm feeling angry, what is my anger trying to tell me? And once I have the answer to that question, that'll get us to the R portion in RAIN, which is nurture. If I can identify why I'm having a certain emotion, I can identify a need that I might have to soothe that emotion, and I can nurture myself to get that need met. And that's going to look different for everybody. So, what I might need to tend and nurture to my sadness might be different than my best friend's need to nurture her sadness. And that's okay. And that's where we remind ourselves again, being very non judgmental throughout this process. Now, at the start, clients usually are very timid, maybe a little bit hesitant to walk through it. But this RAIN technique is nice because it allows us to process through an emotion instead of just like sitting with it and asking, what am I supposed to do with it? This RAIN technique allows us to move through that emotion and get to the end of it. Not saying that it's never going to come back again, but remember that our emotions are there for a reason and they're there to tell us something. So the more that we keep asking ourselves and being curious with ourselves when those emotions come up, the easier it will be to sit with them when we need to.